Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for being with us today, whether you're watching, listening here in the United States or across the world. We are grateful you're here. This is your first episode, or if you are joining us, as you always do, since episode number one. We do have a quite extensive catalog of episodes, so we want to remind everyone to please go back in time and check out our catalog of episodes, over 550 episodes that I promise you won't be disappointed when you do that. And if you're able to, give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, all those fun things. They're easy to do and they're free. If you're able to, you can donate, as Voices for Voices is a 501(c)(3) nonprofit charity here in the United States. Any donation, any purchase in our merch shop, which the URL is in the description below or to the side of you watching here. Um, and any donation, whether it's straight donation or purchase in our merch shop here in the United States, is 100% federally tax deductible. And if you live outside of the United States, you just want to check with your tax preparer to understand the rules for donating to a charity in the United States. Thank you for being with us. And this episode is going to be a little bit uh, straight to the point and a little bit difficult at the same time. So we know that, um, or a lot of us know that screen time for everybody, whether children, whether they're young adults, uh, whatever age they may be, seems to be ticking up and has been for quite some time. And we as parents and just human beings, we want to uh, we want to make sure that we're spending as much time as we can away from the screens, because we know that there are a lot of studies that have been concluded, and then there's all kinds of studies being run at the current time. And some of those studies we're going to talk about here today. There was an article that was published, and we're going to give the credit where credit's due. And this has nothing to do with politics, so it's just happens to be the news outlet that um, broke this story, at least for us to be able to see it and talk about it. And so this is from coming from Fox News, this report, and there's probably a bunch of other news outlets that have this as well. But this is a public safety announcement, public service announcement. Because not only, I mentioned at the outset how we want to decrease screen time. One of the big areas is, or the big reasons why, is because it's linked with, it's got an addicting manner to it, uh, where we don't want to put the phone down. We don't want to put the iPad, the computer, the netbook, whatever screen it may be, the TV, we don't want to turn it off. Well, we're streaming, season and after season of our favorite shows. Uh, and there have been, again, studies that have been done, and we're going to jump into some of that right now for this particular episode because we do share public service announcements, public safety announcements. We we share them for as many topics as we can. So some of you have signaled that we don't, that we just kind of make things up, and well, we don't. I mean, I can show you right here that I have a story up, and I didn't write it. I didn't do the research, but I do agree with this story, and it is titled Meta's Child Safety Penalties Near $1 billion as court orders new teen protections. So that's a straight quote from the Fox Business, Fox News, uh, and Meta. That's the parent of Facebook and I believe also Instagram right now. And so we're gonna read through the article verbatim, and then we're gonna talk about it. So here we go. And we're quoting this. So a nearly $1 billion blow to Meta. The tech giant is being forced to make another massive payout after a New Mexico court found Facebook and Instagram contributed to the state's youth mental health crisis. Meta was ordered Thursday, I think this was last week, uh, to pay $567 million on top of a $375 million jury award in March, bringing its total liability in the case to nearly $942 million. Meta must also roll out sweeping teen safety measures over the next 5 years, including monthly limits on Facebook and Instagram use, notification restrictions, tighter controls on adults contacting minors, human trafficking. Ding, ding, ding. Where have we heard this before? Adults contacting minors, and safeguards for AI, artificial intelligence chatbots. Meta told Fox Business it disagrees with the ruling and plans to appeal. So, if we look at more in depth, the court order changes are, and there's some bullet points here, are to delete unverified accounts for users under 13 years of age, to block overnight and school day notifications, automatically blur nude images, restrict unknown adults from messaging minors, limit Facebook and Instagram use to 90 hours a month. And so there's a little bit of a backstory. In 2023, New Mexico sued Meta over child safety risks. Meta's algorithms push children toward harmful content and predators. A judge ruled Meta was a public nuisance due to its wider harm to children and society. And so when we look at the total dollars that are being levied against Meta, and so that's the $375 million from previous civil penalties, plus an additional judgment of $567 million. And that comes to a grand total at the moment of $942 million, which is just about $1 billion. And so this is Mexico, New Mexico, not Mexico. Sorry for that. New Mexico's court. Uh, and I agree that there needs to be especially as we're talking about children, okay? Um, there needs to be more safeguards in place. The fact that adults can contact minors is just sickening. It's just sickening. Like, why does an adult need to contact a minor? Go through the parent, go through the guardian. You don't need to contact a minor. Get out of here. And for those individuals out there who say, well, the minor came to me and asked me questions, and so I was just helping them out and helping them because it didn't seem like anybody else. Well, you know what you do in those cases? You know what you do in those cases? You reach out to the parent or you reach out to the school. You reach out to somebody who is the adult, the guardian of that child, and let them work through this. Let them go to therapy, to a trained therapist, trained counselor, trained psychiatrist, not some random adult that is just stepping in as if that's what their job is. And it's not. It's 100% not. It's not appropriate for adults. I mean, we have we have talked throughout some of our episodes about some of this activity. Like why? Okay, what activity would need to be going on for a child to feel like they can't talk to their own mom, their own dad, their own guardian about things? Well, go to the doctor, go to a counselor, go to a therapist. If there's one at your school, go there, get your help from a professional, and have that parent be that let's say like middle person, but that parent and or guardian should be the one handling the communication from any adult to them. That's just the way it should be. And so I wonder how many other states besides New Mexico have these laws. How many more children have to go missing? All too well known are the stories we hear about, well, such and such was spending a lot more time online than they had before. I'm not sure who they were talking to. And sometimes, unfortunately, the children, and for that matter, the adults too. If somebody is looking to do harm, sometimes, if not all, they're looking to do harm, period. A minor under the age of 18, especially. And here we have a lot of money, right? So Meta's being fined close to $1 billion. And Meta has all these sweeping regulations, sweeping changes that they have to do. They should have did it in the first place. It shouldn't have to come from losing a court case or having a court case, period. They should just do it because it's right. Because it's right. I mean, let's ask some of the people working for Meta how they would feel if so and so 60 some years old reaches out to talk to your child or you're the guardian for a, a child. How would you feel about that? Would you be cool with that? I don't think so. And for those that say yes, you're just you're you're not fooling anybody. Because if you think that's okay, then that child needs a new guardian. Somebody needs to step in and help that child before they disappear. And some, unfortunately, don't come back. So I applaud New Mexico. Thank you, New Mexico. What about the other states in the United States of America? This is a public safety announcement, public service announcement, because again, this is happening in the public, out in the public. You might say, well, are they outside? If they're on their phone, that's the public. It's an added public that we never used to have until phones like these messaging that come before. Before we had AOL, MySpace, Yahoo Messenger. Maybe when there's still some of those out there. But those were the extent of it. Now there's so many apps out there, so many social media platforms that makes it so easy. And so it's a public service, public safety announcement because I don't want any more children to go missing. I don't want any more parents to go into their child's room and find them deceased because they were extorted or sextorted, because somebody was pretending to be somebody who they weren't. And the child just kept doing exactly what they said, and then it got to be overbearing. And in some instances, unfortunately, the child takes their own life. I don't want that to happen again, ever. And for the parents, the guardians, the coaches, all that, you need to do an even better job checking in with your guardians, with your team. Some of this goes on, unfortunately, in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different places. Anytime there's a group gathering, this stuff can happen. And it is unfortunate that we're even having this conversation, that I even have to have an episode about this. So that's why we're having this episode, because it's so darn important that we need to keep our children alive, safe. And if a parent's not going to do the job, you're fired. It's like if you don't have, I don't know, you hire somebody to do a job, they don't do it, you fire them. So by downloading, the Meta's apps, Facebook, Instagram, I'm not sure if they have any others, they should be getting fired by these children and their parents. Because all it takes is one message. All it takes is one person to come into your child or children's lives to step in thinking that it's okay to talk about sex, porn, cutting, you name it, with a child that's not their own, that they're not the guardian, they're not the parent of, they're not even a counselor, they're not a psychiatrist. Because the people that do that, unfortunately, are up to nefarious activities. What an adult should do if they would ever come in contact with that's not their child, that they're not the guardian of, they tell their parents. You tell the adult, the guardian, who who is the parent and or guardian of that child. You don't just talk to them just because, oh, well, they reached out and um, I just figured that I could help them out. Well, you know what? That's great you want to think like that. It's great you want to help people. Help the child even more by having them talk to their own parents, their own guardians, an aunt, uncle, a cousin, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, stepmom, stepdad. You get the idea. Not somebody who, oh, they messaged me, so I, I just, this is just what I do. I'm helping them. No, you're not. Too many children have, and unfortunately will go missing because of this nonsense. And so, New Mexico, I applaud you. We applaud you. See, we want safety and security for everybody across the world, even our enemies. We hope that there is safety, security. We don't want harm coming to anyone. All of our shows, whether it's been hard topics, easy topics, whether we've called out a certain organization or group, we have never talked about harming those individuals. It's a difference between law and order than I wish harm. Because we've gotten a lot of that lately. A lot of people are putting comments out there calling me a lot of names. And I'm not going to mention them here because they'll get censored. But what you need to know and what they need to know is we've never once called for harm to anyone. Physical harm, spiritual harm, mental harm, none of that. You can still have law and order and still not want harm to come to a person or persons or organizations. And so I kindly ask that we lower that temperature down. Because that's where we start talking about the bystanders and the upstanders. The bystanders are the people just let those comments go, and they even sometimes add fuel to the fire and let's do this, let's do that, let's do all these. An upstander steps in and says, "Hey, everybody, what are we talking about?" It's one thing to not be on somebody's side, but it's a whole nother thing to sitting there and wishing harm and words I can't use. I can use. I'm choosing not to because it will just add more fuel. So as a country, as a nation, as a world, as a human being, let's do more helping. And I'm not talking about the helping of, well, somebody from my church reached out or somebody, and so I was just helping them out. Um, no, I'm not talking about that type of helping. I'm talking about getting getting that child or children's family, guardian, getting them involved, school counselor, somebody who's a professional and is actually connected to that child, or in some cases, those adults. So the rest of the United States, we got a lot of work to do. I don't know how many other states we have. This was New Mexico. It's not time to sit. It's time to stand. It's not time to be a bystander and watch things go by because we've watched too many things go by. We look at each other and go, well, I can't believe that happened. That will never happen around me. And then the next potentially period of time, maybe something like that happens. Goes, oh, I can't believe it happened here. Folks, hey, if we're just going to watch it go by and we're not going to take a stand, what do we think is going to happen? Let's not be a bystander. Let's be an upstander. We've heard the phrase over and over again. If you see or hear something, you say something. And so I'm seeing something, I'm hearing something, I'm saying something. And I just have a teeny, 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 tiny microphone. That's it. I just got a teeny, 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 tiny microphone with voices for voices in our podcast and TV show. So again, I do this. We can help one child, one individual from stepping off that ledge, from Xing out of that chat bot, that chat window, when somebody that you don't recognize. You talk to your mom, your dad, aunt, your uncle, or your guardian, whoever. Let them figure that out. You're a child. Go play, have some fun, and let's try to stay away from screens. That goes for adults too. So thank you for joining us on this episode of the show. So happy to have you with us. So humbled and grateful that you would spend any time with the Voices for Voices family. So until next time, let's be a voice for not just us, but maybe somebody else in need that isn't able to share their voice. And let's celebrate the voices of the world. Let's have some law and order, but then let's also celebrate those voices, those professionals those people that are truly wanting to help, not stepping into a role with no training, no expertise. I pray that New Mexico is not the last state that has some of these elements in these cases. Let's all do our part. And lastly, if we see or hear something, we got to say something. If somebody's not listening, we go above. If that somebody's not listening, we go above. If that somebody ain't listening, we look out and see are there any platforms. The Voices for Voices platform is one of those spots. We just got a teeny tiny microphone, teeny tiny megaphone that we can help one person at a time. So we'll see you next time. We're sending our love and support your way, and we'll see you on the next show. Bye bye for now.